Welcome back to Blossom Schoolhouse. Today I'm talking about something that I know many of us struggle with, I certainly have, and that is how to homeschool multiple children. It's never an easy task teaching more than one child. Even if they're the same age, they still require and benefit massively from that one-on-one time, which is one of the best things about home education, but not always the easiest to actually do. So for us, the hard thing is keeping one child occupied while I do a lesson with another. So the two main subjects that I need to do one-on-one with both my children are the language arts and math. So obviously they have language arts and math each. So that's 4 independent lessons one-on-one that I need to do with my children. And if I can get the other child occupied while I'm doing this lesson, it goes a lot smoother, a lot quicker, and I feel a lot less overwhelmed. Obviously, as children get older and they can start doing their lessons independently, this will not be a problem anymore. But at the moment they are 8 and 6 and they still require my help for their lessons. So one thing that has been quite handy has been the independent practice part of their curriculum. So this is with the Good and the Beautiful. We use them for math and language arts. They have an independent practice at the end of each lesson, and you don't need to have done that lesson to do the independent work. It's actually based on previous lessons. For example, if this is our lesson for the day, I can get her to start with this to do on her own while I do the lesson with my 6-year-old. When she's done the lesson, she can do her independent work and then I can do the lesson with my 8-year-old. It's not foolproof though. There's many a time that I will be interrupted doing the lesson because one of them will need help with something that they're struggling with in their independent work. So it's not foolproof, but it works sometimes. Another thing that's worked for us and that we sometimes do is keeping back the handwriting and morning menu portion of their morning time and having them do that while I begin a lesson. So we might do some reading for morning time and then I might jump straight into math with Miss 8. So I would get Miss 6 to do her handwriting. Now she can do as many pages in here as she wants, and then her morning menu. So there's just a calendar in there and there's some activities and poems and stuff for her to get on with. So that has helped. But more often than not, when they do this part, they are done quicker than I am done teaching a lesson. So the thing that I normally get them to move straight onto from here is reading. So literally right by our table, we have this bookshelf with all of the girls' readers. So all the books they're confident reading independently. And they usually just grab a book from here, sit on the sofa and do some independent reading. These Usborne young readers are definitely a favourite for both of my girls. They're about 5 or 6 chapters each, sometimes a bit more, and they will usually just sit and read through the whole book. They're not big chapters. Now this has only just started working for us since my 6-year-old has become confident with reading. This wasn't the case with my 8-year-old. When she was 6, she would only read to me with me listening, so if it was the other way around, it wouldn't have worked out, but luckily for us, it has. It just goes to show how different they are, and homeschooling definitely does expose that. Something else that has proved very useful for us is to have some form of online learning program. We recently discovered Night Zookeeper, which is an award-winning creative writing platform. It covers the full language arts curriculum, but we are going to be using it as like a supplementary online tool. One of the things that I liked about this particular program is that it helps improve writing skills, which is something that Miss 8 in particular struggles with. So as well as weekly lessons, you also get personalised feedback from tutors and free printables every month. It's like having another teacher. So while I work on math with Miss 6, Miss 8 is fully engaged in her own online lesson with everything she needs, plus she's having fun, so it is a win-win. I also keep these shelves full of different things that the girls can do. There's games. I mean, down the bottom we have got a ton of nature books and learning books that I would be so happy for them to just sit and look at while I'm doing a lesson. And then in here we have story stones. So these are great for them to just sit and play with. They did that the other day. And then I've got wooden animals in here and life cycle toys as well. Just a ton of different things that they can get on with. And then one of the main things that works out quite well is this basket right here. This is a game basket, so I'll pull this down and show you everything that's in here. Most of the games in here require 2 players, of course, so that's fine, but there are still a few things in here that I keep. This is an educational game basket, so there's a small world map in there, and then these from Learning Resources are so handy because they can just play them on their own and they're fun. They just take out a card, 3 or 2, then just work that out in their head, or they can take a chalkboard and write it down. Same again for the blends game, they can do that on their own. They just pull out the pieces and they practice the blends that are on there. And the sight word popcorn, so they can practice their sight words as well. So that's all independent games that they can play. And then I also keep these hot dot books and then the pen that goes with them. So this actually tells them whether they're right or wrong by simply making a noise. This is the telling the time book. What time is it? It's 1 o'clock. And when they press that, it flashes green. But then if I was to press 2 o'clock, it flashes red and it tells me that I'm wrong. So that's really handy. She doesn't need my help and she can just practice. And we've got another little coin game in here as well. And then the rest of the games in here are 2-player or more, really. So they get used more so when we're having a game day or a game schooling morning and things like that, which we do quite often. There are also some fun things in here as well. We've got an animal trivia game. They've got some ocean animal facts and famous painting cards. And then of course there are toys, especially Magna-Tiles. My girls will sit and play with Magna-Tiles for such a long time. So every now and then my youngest will pull these out while I'm doing the lesson with Miss 8, and again vice versa. So we keep these handy as well under the school shelves. For different learning activities, I keep this basket here right by the table. Got our double-sided 100 board here, and we use this for many a math activity. I'll leave a link for that in the description. In here I keep various different learning materials. So we've got the number board. This is great with the wooden balls, or there's a wooden dowel that they use to trace, or they can just practice. That's more for younger children. And then we often do sight word tracing. So I've got the board in here and we slot the card into there, put the sand in, and then they trace the sight word. So they're practicing spelling, writing, everything with that. And then we've got a alphabet board, double-sided one. We've got some stickers in there, and then I've also got our place value board. So lots of these things I can utilise setting up a specific math activity or sight word activity, and they can be doing that also while I'm doing lessons with the other. So there are many options. They've got their own little pencil cases over here that's got everything that they need to do things independently. They've got a pencil, chalk, scissors, glue, and they've got the spelling words that they're practicing at the moment. And sometimes I grab the chalkboard from down here and I just tell them, write out your spelling words. And then of course, how could we not mention puzzles? Now these drawers are just full of puzzles and games and educational snap, and you name it, it is in here. And I think we have some more down here. Yep, a ton of puzzles for them to keep themselves busy. Often the main things that we use when I'm doing a lesson with one is the online programs, puzzles and books. They are probably our top 3. These are some of the things we have found work best for getting those one-on-one lessons done with minimal distraction from other siblings. The fact is, juggling lessons, housework and the needs of your other family members is just hard work sometimes, so finding little things that make it easier are really important, and I really hope that you've found some ideas to help you in this video. Don't forget to check out the link in my description for 50% off of the Night Zookeeper. Thank you for watching.